In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Welcome back to another pointless automotive podcast. Your ever-loving hosts are with you today, Frank and Chadwick. How you doing
Hi,
tonight, Frank?
I'm good. I'm great. How are you?
Doing fantastic, and I hope all our viewers and listeners out there in the World Wide Web
hmm
lands are,
Internets.
are doing as well as we are. Guys, it's time to get a little weird and talk about,
Let's get
I
weird.
mean,
Let's get weird.
as opposed
Let's
to
get weird.
usual weirdings, let's talk about modern stuff for a change of pace, Frank,
What?
because we do, we're kind of Quakers in a way. We embrace the kind of archaic automobile world. But you know what, my friend? I've been listening to the various automotive news outlets, and there's some
Oh,
pretty sweet stuff for sale right now. So I wanted to cover modern offerings with enthusiast creds, something an enthusiast car
sure.
person or future prospective buyer can get behind, and it's still a respectable vehicle and pretty cool in some ways. So, Frank, there's no rules really to this one. I'm just thinking anything that's for sale right now, a 2024 model. It can be a new model, it can be something that's been refreshed. But do you have anything at the top of your list that is modern for sale right now and an enthusiast backing?
So you're saying this is practically an Outback Steakhouse?
It's a bloom and onion affair for sure.
Okay. So
Yeah,
no rules, just right.
tough and tough.
That's my really half-assed attempt for us to get sponsored by Outback Steakhouse.
Oh God, it'd be so
Um,
good.
that would be. It's admittedly it's been a minute since I've been to an Outback Steakhouse. It's probably been 5+ years, and I'm overdue. I want some of that weird, like, mysterious origin brown bread that has
Oh,
like a steak knife stuffed in it.
yeah.
And the bloomin' onion and the freaking tomato and all the other interesting
Hmm.
named items. In lieu, because in lieu of discussing Outback Steakhouse for an hour here, um, because we're not sponsored by them. Question: Does
Yes.
more does Morgan count as a modern modern manufacturer? Because I'm going to
Oh,
go off the rip with my deep cut. I'm just going to go straight to it.
do it, man. We're B sides first over here, so go for it.
Morgan. I want a Morgan. They
Okay,
have what I know. I think they still make the three wheeler in some fashion,
they do.
and then they have the plus four,
Mm-hmm.
which has I think a turbocharged four cylinder
I believe you're
of
right.
mysterious origin, and then they have it used to be called the plus six. Now maybe it's like the speed six. I don't know. I haven't actually done Morgan
Mm.
homework, but if I remember correctly, that's got turbocharged BMW six cylinder in it, um, which seems way too much for a Morgan. But
Does.
I want to go. Oh, a modern enthusiast car? Give me a freaking Morgan. Like, I know they're not made of wood anymore. I don't think, but
Shame.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, is it still like the last? I've last. They're gonna be my last hope for the internal combustion engine is Morgan. I think they're gonna be the last final holdouts.
Man, I think we can celebrate the fact that they're still around and pumping out
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I think
Yeah,
that's
not a
super
lot.
cool. Yeah, but still, yeah, that's why, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
good stuff.
boutique.
Yeah.
I would love an opportunity to just like drive around in a Morgan three wheeler for a day. I think that would be just absolute riot.
Yeah, especially a new one. Imagine going to get one of those brand new
Yeah,
Morgan Brewer. Is it where's your local Morgan
Morgan
dealership?
distributor.
Yeah.
There's probably like one in LA and one in Florida and one in upstate New York, and that's probably it. That's probably the entire
Yeah.
maybe Seattle. That feels like a Seattle vehicle, even though it's rainy and shitty all the time. Like
Yeah.
Seattle man would drive
I
one of
feel
those, I
like
think.
it's not a traditional dealership experience. I think it's like a little boutique shop and like a very
Mm-hmm.
upscale shopping plaza.
Yes,
And you go in there and,
it's like a kiosk.
yeah, they have a vehicle in the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Very
heck yeah,
cool. Good
Morgan.
choice. That didn't make my list.
It never makes
The
anyone's
Frank,
list.
the Frank deep cut going right in with
Right
Morgan.
off the right off the deep end of the window, a freaking Morgan.
You know what's been in the automotive news lately? a little something from Lexus called the GX, which is not a new vehicle, but
Yeah.
holy crap, did they kill it on this design? The brand new GX
Mhm.
coming out for the 2024 model year is fantastic. It's boxy, it's bold, it looks so damn good.
It does
And
look good.
it comes with a twin turbo V6. That's cool. It comes in a lot of cool colors. Uh, we have my wife and I have an '07 GX,
Hmm.
and I just so you know, she's really liking the new GX, but I'm using this one to kind of segue us like a
Yes.
gateway drug into the newer
Hmm.
one. I really want the Overtrail edition, which is like effectively a Land Cruiser. Let's be honest. It's like what the
Yeah.
old LX470 used to be. And it comes in Nori Green. So I mean,
Noe Green Pearl. Let's
case
go.
closed, right? Let's
You going
lock this
black
thing in.
top or you going monochrome?
I'm gonna keep it the same color. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that green. And I think that's a hell of a truck. I think it's super good. It's got a lot of presence. The interior is fucking stunning. It's a Lexus, so it will run forever.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like
pumped.
a.
I'm legitimately pumped. I love the GX. I've always liked that. I've always liked the
Mhm.
platform, and this one's just going to be even more of the stuff I love.
It'll almost be like a new Land Rover Defender 110 that you can actually live with and actually maintain and actually repair and actually find parts for and actually trust.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I would say even looks nicer, and it probably has
it
a higher build
does.
quality. So um yeah, really interesting. I it's one of those things where I my prediction is you'll see one and be like, oh, I actually saw one in person, and then you'll see 30 a day till the day you die.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little pricey. I
Yeah,
don't think they're going to be like RXs where everybody has one. They start in the 50s, so the upper 50s, but I think it's a lot
that's
of
cheap
value
now almost for a car though anymore,
for what you're
which is
getting. I
silly.
mean, remember what a
Yeah,
base Land Cruiser costs, right? I think, well, actually, they're probably, I mean, the Overtrail, of course, is going to be in the 60, 70 range, right?
yeah,
But like
yeah.
the base model, I think, is going to be like in the 50s, high 50s. So I don't know. I think Lexus came out with a design that just absolutely rocks. And I like Lexus. I like, and you do too.
Hmm.
From a
Yeah,
certain period, I think some of their modern offerings, I don't really like the modern style on some of their
right.
crossovers and SUVs, but this one's going to be a killer, man. So
Yeah, it's a
I'm
sharp
pretty pumped.
sharp vehicle.
Yeah.
um I wish there were more. I honestly I wish there were more to choose from, right? I mean, we beat this dead horse
Mhm.
thoroughly into the grave with regards to like, yeah, look at like small, fun, affordable enthusiast sports coupes and things from the 90s and just how many, like every manufacturer made like two of them, right? Two different
Right.
ones, right?
You had to.
Um, and now that it's a completely dead breed, but probably there's a few that are holding down the fort. Um, I think one of them that is good and people overlook it for a couple of reasons, but like a regular ass 4-cylinder Cayman, like
Hmm.
a base 718. Whether you go Cayman or Boxster, pick your
Okay.
poison. But
Yeah.
in my headspace,
Cayman.
the Cayman, you can have yourself a sub 5 0 to 60
Hmm.
mid engine turbocharged 4-cylinder, um incredible build quality. It's going to hold its value, and people overlook it because the 6-cylinder cars were so good and they made them for so long, and
Hmm.
and you can still get a GTS with a 6-cylinder in it. That these cars they don't make the same noises, but they're still super buttoned and super well composed and just an excellent car. And I mean, the most basic one in the world I think is like 70,
Right.
which is a lot. That's not lost on me. But everything is expensive now, unless you're buying a Miata or you're buying a Subiyota twin.
Dude, Miatas can get you to 40K now. I mean, that's the world
Right.
we live in, man.
Yeah. And so, and maybe we'll talk about those cars, but like, yeah, that basic bitch Boxster that everyone overlooks,
Hmm.
or Cayman more specifically, and people go, okay, I'd rather get a 911. Okay, like a basic zero option Carrera, which don't exist, and you probably can't get an allocation for a basic no option Carrera.
Right.
It's still 120.
It's wild. Huge price discrepancy.
Mm-hmm. And is that a much faster car? Yes. Is it a much more special car? Yes. Will it hold its value better? Yes. But that $70,000 Cayman, that $75,000 Cayman, if you get just some modest options on it, 6-speed manual, all world car. I don't know. Nobody talks about that car
Yeah,
in a world where everyone talks about Porsche
I
because it has
earned
the wrong number of cylinders.
Yeah, and I mean, I owned a 9871 Cayman S,
Mm-hmm.
which when it came out, the delta between that and a base Carrera wasn't that big.
Yeah,
Like it still had it still had a very similar power band, 300, almost 300 horsepower. God, that car, flat six, rear wheel drive, mid engine. Oh, I loved everything about the driving dynamics of that vehicle. And the new ones they have refined, uh, and they handle very well, a little more power. I mean, it's the Cayman and Boxsters are just like, I mean, yeah, maybe compared to their modern counterparts, but these cars still will like take out most performance cars. It's wild how
but
Porsche kind of underrates the horsepower on these things.
and what's interesting is I feel like when your 986 or 987 came out, the math that Porsche did then was okay. Boxer's the entry level car. The
Hmm.
Cayman is the mid tier car.
Yep.
The the 911 is the high tier car with GT cars being like the ultimate expression of the top of the top, right?
Hmm.
Since then, it almost feels like Cayman and Boxster are coexist in the entry level.
Yep.
The regular non-turbo, because they're all turbo, but the non-turbo branded 911, your Carrera 4S, your Targos, those are now the mid tier.
That's correct.
And the high tier, which was the standard 911 stuff, is now the GT cars because those cars are so popular now, a GT3,
Hmm.
that it's become kind of where the 911 Turbo was as
Right.
far as popularity and number sold and things like that. And then only the crazy super bespoke stuff like the ST and the GT2 and super exotic
The R.
versions are the high end now.
Yep.
And so it's that middle tier has been taken up by the more basic Carrera. So those base cars, whether it be the Cayman, like it gets overlooked now, and I don't know. I don't think it should be. I think
No, they're
good car.
mid-engine, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, would I spend $75,000? No, I'd buy a used something else. But yeah, overlooked, underappreciated.
Yeah, I think those old Cayman S's, especially the S. The S was quite a performance bump over the regular Cayman, like
Mm-hmm.
50 horsepower. I think those are still very much worth 25 to 35K though. I think that's a
Yeah,
lot of car for that price point.
yeah,
Like you want to get a new Corolla or the Cayman S? Like I know you're not cross shopping those two, the average person, but
right.
hell of a value still, to your point. I have another one.
What you got?
This is a sports car, a
Oh,
2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse.
there you go.
I
Katy Perry edition.
I think absolutely Katy Perry edition. But this, uh, 500 horsepower from a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. And it's
Mm-hmm.
an American car. I mean, these numbers, those were like supercar numbers for displacement
Oh
back
yeah.
in the day, right? The other day, I'm not even joking. Me and my son were driving on the highway here, 580, and literally a Dark Horse went by. And I was like, holy shit, a Dark Horse. And then a
Mm-hmm.
Boss 302 went by. And then a 350, 350R went by, GT
Okay.
350R, all in a
Yeah.
row. So I don't know if
Look
they
at
were
that.
doing like a shoot or a Comparo. It was like a Motor Trend Comparo look, but all three in a row. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously I'm pointing them out. And I'm like, holy crap. And then, Teddy, of course, he's like, Daddy, do you really like Mustangs though? Because I'm like, the Mustangs are everywhere, right? Like you
Yeah.
see them everywhere. And I'm like, those ones I like. And he's like, is it because they're rare? I'm like, yes. Because that was like three of the most iconic, like
Mm-hmm.
modern Mustangs. And each one of those I respect. Like I know on the 302, and the 302 still has a live, rear end. It's
Right.
nothing fancy. It's not a complicated or involved rear end. But that car was a punch in the gut of the E90 M3 around any
Yeah.
racetrack. That was the first
Yeah.
really
That's
good.
every time one of those cars come out. It's similar to the Corvette, although different recipe. But like every
Sure.
time one of those cars comes out, it's like they always punch so high above their weight.
Yeah.
and they've gotten to the point now where gone is it like, oh, it's the bargain speed thing. Now it's like, if you want a fast car with a V8 and a manual transmission, you're shopping here. That's it.
Yeah, you are.
And so get it. And so they've been refined quite a bit, kind of all the way around. And it just, but the ever present thing of bang for your buck, still undefeated.
Absolutely wild. And yeah, like you said, the performance they offer, they're in supercar territory, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
This new Dark Horse, like it's blazingly quick, and it gets around a track. That was the big thing,
Yeah.
right? Like back in the day, we grew up in the era where American cars were only fast until there was a corner, right? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
Only
the
left
Boss
turns.
302 changed that. And you remember the Z28 of the newer gen Camaros? That changed a lot of those opinions. God, those are pricey, by the way.
Yeah.
Those C28 Camaros. But yeah, GT350R always going to be, special. Those are three iconic, all cruising in a row. But I think that Dark Horse is keeping that tradition alive. I think that's a very special car. I think there's quite a few of those probably getting mothballed away to come back later.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's a car
shame.
that's a car you drive. Like I don't care.
God.
It's almost like anytime there's a new special edition, pace car, Corvette or Camaro or whatever, you get a bunch of people that buy them and they mothball them.
Yep.
And thinking they're going to be worth a ton of money. And then 30 years go by, and then we only sold 2,000 of these. Well, 1,980 of them never got driven, and so they all have low miles on it. So they're not even like, they're not as this unicorny thing. And when they drive so freaking good.
Yeah. Well, the Boss 302, man, they never lost value. They never went, like, I was looking at the lowest, and I watched that curve. They dropped down to like the mid 20s for like used ones, like driver examples. God, I wanted one of those in like Grabber Blue for the longest time. So hard, dude. Especially like that, because they had 2 years of it, and the second one with the hockey stick graphic. Just gorgeous looking car,
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I always come back, like I think the same thing, but like I always mentally, and this is a me problem, and I've had it before. Same with a lot of Corvettes. Same with Camaros. Probably same with like Chargers, but probably maybe to a lesser. I don't know. I don't know if I can present myself as that guy. I just don't know that I can, which is stupid and it's lame.
It is stupid. It is
this
stupid.
new Dark Horse. I think it has a little bit of a different aura around it, especially in that dark denim blue color or whatever they're calling it that's coming out.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a different vibe.
Well,
GT350, I think, has a little bit of a different vibe. It's a different kind of Mustang. But so I think I can get away with it. But
I think you could get away with like a ZR1 like mine. I think you could get away with that because the C4, it's got a little weirdness to it. And then of course like a Z06 from the C5 generation. I think you could get away with that. That's like an awesome performance bargain.
No, they are. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to, because I like pretty much every. They all drive so very. They drive well.
Yeah.
What's the least Corvette guy color?
I wish mine was in teal. I wish my ZR1 was teal. I think that would be the most like
or that purple.
Yeah, my focused color. But yeah, I think you're right. Like I love
silver's
yellow.
Pretty milquetoast.
I love that the Z06, the C5 in yellow.
Ooh,
it's a good looking car.
Yeah. Well, while we're swimming around in American Muscle, boy howdy, get yourself a Camaro while you still can.
That's right.
Because this is the last year.
That's it.
That's a wrap. You can't get your turbo 4-cylinder anymore, so sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But yeah, go Camaro. Like I still like, if you had to corner me and say, hey, are you buying the last Camaro or this new Mustang? I'm probably buying the Mustang, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That said, I don't know, the end of another end of an era, right? Because it's the second time they've killed the Camaro, but it will be missed. It's dying breed. The Challenger's going away as well, or being replaced by an EV or a Charger EV coupe or whatever that's going to turn into. But yeah, pour one out for the Camaro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that's a good buy. I've always liked the Camaro. I love how it drives. If you get a Magna Ride one, if you've ever driven one of those, it's quite impressive. The motor is pretty good. The 455 horsepower base motor has been good for as long as
Hmm.
it's been out. The visibility still sucks. I do
Yes.
like the interior. I think the interior is cool. When they first had the heater controls on the actual heater vents, I thought
Uh-huh.
that was super cool. The cold and hot. I
Yep.
love shit like that. That's kind of stuff that gets me. I think
Thinking.
they look good. The early ones didn't look as good, but now they look
Yeah,
really good. God, that visibility though. But that's beaten. Speaking of dead horse being beaten, but
that's right.
good
That's not a
car.
Mustang reference either.
Yeah, good
Um,
car.
yeah, no, good car. GTR.
Mm,
Talk about the horse that continuously gets beat and just won't die. Is that R34 GTR?
35.
35, sorry.
Yes.
R35 GTR.
Which also doubles each year in price effectively. Holy
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah.
Remember when that
Yeah.
was 60,000 when they came out, my friend?
Well, that's the problem. It's been out for so long that like just like not depreciation, but just inflation alone is
Yeah,
is
that's fair.
is calculates into the madness, right? Like,
Oh, I
you
don't
know,
know. 60K in like 2008.
you could buy these for a firm handshake and a dozen nickels.
A
Um,
handy and a
that's right. Yeah. You
yeah,
just
just a
walk
handy.
into your dealership as the throat goat and walk out with a GTR. But they still look good. They've kind of done like a refresh, and I
Yeah.
want to say they've got that. I don't remember the name of it, but that really cool green metallic.
Mm,
That's
yep.
like supposed to be like the grand hurrah limited edition color. They've upscaled the interior quite a bit, so it's become a nicer thing
Yeah, they were pretty
since when
Spartan.
they
The
originally.
original
Yeah,
ones were
yeah.
Spartan.
It was just it was like the Ultima coupe interior. But they've it's gone up market quite a bit, so you get that with your buck. Is it still kind of a joke that it's still in production? Large, I don't want to say largely unchanged, but largely unchanged. Um, yes. Is it still cool? And do I kind of still want? Do I want like the swan song of that car?
Yeah,
Money
dude.
no object. Yeah, yeah. That it's I do. So yeah, I just wanted to shout that out while we're talking about cars that are dead and dying, and still on the market. That will be, we will have to pour one out for the GTR when it is no
Oh,
longer on sale officially.
yeah. And hope when R36 comes out and it comes with a
Yes,
god dang manual. How cool would that be? Return to roots would be kind of
it
nice.
won't, but that'd be cool.
It won't. Yeah, I hear you. Uh, Something else from Japan, my friend.
Ooh,
The Acura Integra Type S. I
uh,
want, if I'm gonna get a new car, honestly, this should be the top of my list. Gonna be honest. If I was gonna go
um,
buy a new car right now.
there's an enormous amount to like about those cars.
Yeah.
Modest confession: I was
Mm,
driving behind a regular one. I wasn't driving behind a Type S.
very different
I was
looking.
driving behind a regular one, and from behind the regular one, I was just staring at it. I don't love the way it looks like from behind. The Type S is different,
It is
but the
different.
standard Integra, I don't really like the way that it looks from behind.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
Everything
like
else about
comparing.
that car is kind of perfect,
That's
other
kind
than
of comparing a Civic to a Type R, though. I mean, it's a huge difference, like in both body style and obviously even more so performance, right?
sure, yeah,
Like,
no, that's if that's my only gripe, and considering I don't generally drive behind my own cars while I'm driving them, so its impact on me is quite minimal.
you need to watch some more
Um,
Type S content because it is a good looking car. I mean, I think it's the new Type R is very good looking too compared to the previous
oh yeah,
example. Like
yeah,
they really cleaned it up a lot, but that Type S does it a little more. You get a little boost in power, which is cute.
boosty boosty,
The interior is still very nice and just talk about an all-rounder. You get a
yeah,
sedan, it's not the biggest sedan. You get decent fuel economy, you get amazing performance. You can push the thing, do some pretty
mm-hmm.
amazing stuff. I think that's like, and it's an Integra. I
Yes,
mean, I think I can get behind that. I think Acura's design is pretty good right now. Like their new cars. Have you seen like the TLX Type S? Even
yeah, it actually looks
that's
pretty good.
and it's fast as all hell, 355 horsepower. out of a turbo V6. I mean, that is a good looking car too. I think Acura's language is finally really good. I think their modern stuff looks aggressive, but still like higher end than Honda. I think they're killing it right now. But that Integra, if I was to get a new car, my man, ooh, and that's why I got the TSX. It's to warm me up for
I
it.
like this. You're going the mid 2000s TSX to warm you up for the new Integra
Integra
Type
Type
R, and you've got the mid 2000s Lexus
GX.
GX to warm you up for the new GX.
You
I
see
like
the
I
play,
like where
man.
you're headed.
Yeah, long-term play here, my
That's right.
friend.
You're priming your own pump.
And those are both good cars in their own rights, of course. But
Yes.
yeah, the Integra Type S is just I want to get it. I want to get it.
Yeah. No,
I
you should.
want.
I mean, I don't. My judging its backside aside, there's no reason. I don't know. No real reason why I don't think you or anyone else shouldn't get it.
Yeah, sports car with a proper six-speed manual in today's day and age too. Go figure.
I know of a sports car with a proper 6-speed manual in this day and age that I would have thought I would have seen a bunch of them by now, but I'm not seeing.
Oh,
We've already talked about Nissan. Are you seeing any Z's in the wild?
I've only seen like two or three, to tell you the truth.
I've
In the
seen
wild, yeah.
and I feel like I saw a couple like right after they came out.
Mhm.
And like, oh wow, look. I in the wild I haven't seen any since, and which is a shame. I feel like it's a small side effect of having a dealership group that has been so utterly starved for something interesting and that's mildly desirous
Mhm.
that the moment they actually get them, and there were some early, it took a bit for them to roll out because of production issues, that initially every single one that rolled out had a punch in the dick and balls of an ADM attached to every single one of them.
Horrible.
That
Yeah.
what should have been a $45,000 car turned into a $95,000 car,
Yep.
or an $85,000 car, or a $75,000 car, which it's not. And now the bloom is off the rose. Like you don't see them in the wild. They're not getting like organic attention and eyeballs. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the new Z. Oh, cool. I want to go get one. Like that never happened. And so now I'm sure they're languishing on dealer lots, like the ones that are there. And so they leave it to Nissan to find a way to screw that up. And I don't even blame Nissan today for that. I blame Nissan of the last 15 years for starving out their dealerships who are making more money selling used shit than actual new Nissans.
Right.
And because of that, the effect of that is now there's a decent product in, and they all have ADMs to the moon. And now, even if you can't get one, it's that sticker. Like they're just that time that ship has sailed. Like the interest is lost.
Maybe it's in like an enthusiast controversy, because if we don't show interest in it, if we say it's like a lukewarm car and all these Nissan issues, eventually those prices are going to drop and regular folks can buy what is no doubt I would absolutely love. If I had the bandwidth to have just a proper sports car, like two-seater, I would scoop a Z. I would absolutely scoop one of those cars. I love how they look, and the performance is there. And I don't need it to be a track car. I just need
Yeah.
it to be like a cool sports car with some like GT elements to it. And I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. They look great. Every time I see one, I'm like, holy shit, a Z. Like I've seen
Yeah.
it in that blue that they come in. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it's an absolutely gorgeous, deep, like sapphire kind of blue that
Yeah.
just good looking car. And I love the taillights, the callback to the Z32. I don't know, man. I would scoop one of those in a heartbeat.
Did they make it also too, or did I make that up in my brain where you can get it in like a blue leather interior?
Ooh, I
Or
don't know.
or did my brain? I want to
think-
say there was like a blue, maybe it's a cloth or
Yeah, you were thinking of like
ultra
the
suede, but I think
280ZX, I think.
no. I mean, yes,
Yes.
but no. I think there is an available blue. Like if you get the blue exterior, you can get the blue interior.
That's
maybe
probably
white with
true.
a blue white with a blue interior, which would be
Ooh.
pretty dope.
How cool would that be? Yeah.
That'd be money. I don't know. I don't need one in my life, but the more I think about it, the more I kind of want one. And then I walk into a Nissan dealership and I step in like a piece of chewed gum the moment I step in the door, and there's a dog giving birth to a litter of puppies in the waiting room, and
Literally,
there's a guy like
someone drives an Ultima through the glass in the front.
exactly while huffing chrome spray paint, and there's a there's a pizza parlor in the joint, and of nefarious up to nefarious activities, and
Of course.
and they want a $35,000 ADM on a base automatic equipped Z. So it's I hope it gets sorted out because I'd like to see more of them.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, the only way that they can kind of give it a kick in the pants is to find a way for ADM to not be a thing, maybe release some hot new colors and options, and maybe not a refresh, but just like something to like, oh, hey, here's a new edition. We have the Nismo now that is also ADM'd into the grave, but now you can get it with the manual and you get this limited color, and like, here you go. Here's some incentive.
I think the Nismo was a letdown. I think the automatic only option was like, the guys that
drives good, but like,
sure, I'm sure it does. Sure it does.
Yeah, I'd rather have
give me a break.
Just a performance pack with a manual and call it good. So
yeah, bullshit. We can't build a manual to handle it. Speaking of diet breeds, man.
Oh,
Cadillac.
Oh,
CT4, CT5 Blackwing. Not long for this earth.
Right.
I'm going to focus on the
CT about them. What a shame.
I'm focusing on the CT4 because that's my style. I like the lighter, the smaller sports car. I think it looks incredibly better than the CT5. That might be a hot take, but I think it looks a lot better. 472 horsepower, twin turbo V6. Absolutely just sublime handling dynamics. These things can just eat a racetrack. They're a canyon carving dream. They're gorgeous. God damn it, they're expensive. But I saw some special editions at the Cadillac dealership in San Jose, and I was looking them over, and they're like 125, 130 something K for a Cadillac. Yeah. But boy, they look good.
They're special.
The CT4 looks good. You get a 6-speed manual. You know how I don't care. If it has a 6-speed in it, I'm into it already. And the fact that they still build a 6-speed that can handle that much power, that's huge power. That's modern, big, efficient V8 power, right? Like that's a big number. And to put it in a good handling sports car that looks like that, oh, sign me up. I'll take a CT4 Blackwing all day.
How did we not demand wagon versions of both of those in our cars they should have made?
Because it's literally a miracle that they exist as they are, right? Let's be honest. Speaking of things that are gone, sedans. It's a sedan manual sports
performance shops
offered with a Cadillac badge on the front.
Yeah. End of an era, those cars. And I don't think of those cars enough, which is a shame.
I do. Yeah, same. I think it's the price point. It's so abstract for me. If that was a $60,000 car, ooh, let's talk.
What can you get Can you get an ATS-V in that range now?
I don't even know if do they have the ATS anymore.
No, I mean on the used market.
Oh, no, those never got cheap. And I think it's because they did not build a lot of ATS-Vs.
They didn't.
And they had options, right? You could get an ATS-V that looked like a normal ATS, or you could get the one that you want with the aerodynamics and carbon fiber that makes it look like a fucking badass car.
Yeah.
I always liked those. I always preferred that to the CTS.
Boy. Now I want to sell everything I have and get an ATS-V. Because oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I know. Yeah, it's all of those are good.
Mm-hmm.
I love the CT4V or Blackwing or whatever the hell it's called now.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of it better than the 5, but then I hear a 5 and I'm like, man, it's just so.
I don't know. It just so doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as good though.
Fair. I don't think it looks bad though.
Compared to the CT4, I think it is. I think you want to talk about rear ends. The rear end on the CT5 is what loses me.
It's okay. It's fine. It doesn't offend me. But the noises that rear end makes, the car, not the person driving it, but the noises the car's rear end makes is
it's
pretty spectacular. Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with either. But yeah, what are we doing? Why don't we each just have, you have a 4, I have a 5.
Literally, the Integra Type S gets you like 90% of the performance that we're ever going to tap into as one of those, and it's a fraction of the price.
That's true, and it doesn't get like 11 miles a gallon.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Are we missing
should
anything?
Should we keep playing this game?
I got one more. No, we should probably get into Quizland, but
yeah.
I don't know how we can't mention the Prius in this conversation, dude. For the first time in history, the Prius looks decent.
Doesn't eat ass.
Yeah, it looks fucking good. And like every time I see one, especially in like white, it looks so good. Better performance, better fuel economy, and looks good.
Papa John's?
What's going on, dude? Yeah. Call Peyton Manning up. We're ordering some Papa John's. But this is just wild, man. What kind of world we live in? It's like a 200 horsepower, six in the sixes, right? Acceleration to 60 and better fuel economy. How many virgins were sacrificed?
There's hashtag Easter eggs in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. You know what would be if I were king for a day? I want a GR Prius. Let's go.
Okay.
Give it like an extra gutsy like boost button that like gives you like, you know, some extra kick in the EV junk. Lord. But honestly, a handling package.
This modern Prius is probably, we got to be honest, electrification's not there yet, and it's not going to be there for a while. It's right now probably the most perfect commute weapon for someone looking for a modern, super fuel efficient, good car to commute in. I don't think anything's going to beat that. I think it's the answer.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's for now. I mean, who knows until like next gen battery stuff shows up, which is always being hinted at in the news.
Doesn't matter. This thing's still going to be running flawlessly even when that shit rolls out and fails. That's the thing when you buy one of these, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Here for a long time and a good time.
Well, there's a lot, and there's some other stuff. We didn't talk about the Subiyotas. We somehow didn't talk about Miata. Those are evergreen. Those are evergreen though. Sure. At least the Miata is. I don't know how much longer the BRZ and what are the GT86? What are they calling it anymore?
Yeah, GR86.
We'll see. You know, the Gurrola we didn't talk about. There's some stuff out there. I wish there was more.
But there is some, like, the moral of the story is there is some like really cool stuff that enthusiasts, not just good cars, because I think like the Camry's fine, it's a good car. But these are enthusiast cars. Like these are all cars that like enthusiasts can get behind, and they're modern. And there's a lot of like, there's a lot of holdover stuff that we love, right? Like, well, the Holden's totally holdover, but I mean, like the you know, these manuals with performance cars. This is just cool stuff that we love, and they look cool, and there's a lot of good stuff going on. So I think we got to take it. We got to bring ourselves up to modern times. Say, I like that. I can't afford that, and I'll buy it in 20 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Good times. Anywho,
doing this thing.
I think we should do this thing. That thing being something I'm going to pull up. Will you tell the good people at home what we're about to do while I prepare to quiz upon you?
I would love nothing more than either of those things happening at the same time. So this is our automotive print ad quiz game show. We have to pay someone $5 every time we say that title because it's copywritten somewhere. But the breakdown is Frank's going to pull up an amazing publicated ad. I don't know what the hell he's going to come at me with. It's a car ad from a magazine. It's 80s, 90s, mid 2000s are fair game. He's going to read the ad, omitting anything that gives away the make and model, which is my job within 3 guesses to figure out what the hell he's rambling on about. Every time I fail, I can ask for help, and Frank can throw me a lifeline or step on my face and push my head under the water. Either way, it's good fun. I have, like I said, 3 guesses and 10 minutes once he finishes the ad, which is the most important part, because when we started this game show, it literally used to be 1 hour of ums and ahs. So I think, yeah, literally the same as recording myself in a bathroom stall. But okay, I think I'm ready, Frank. If you want to try that, let me close my laptop.
Close your laptop.
Even though it takes me 20 minutes to find the ads half the time anyway, when I have all the writing in front of me.
Close the laptop. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Or we will paint the picture here. There's a 1-car ad. The top half is an image. The vehicle is Still, it is not being driven. It is parked on, it looks like a dirt, like polo field. There's some people dressed up with polo sticks on horses in the background. The horses have cutesy socks on. That's a thing. Um, and then on the bottom half, it has half text and then one additional image, poorly lit, of the interior.
Okay.
And then it says, the grand touring tradition,
Mm.
vivid response, effortless grace, refined luxury. I'm going to read it and bear with me. It's a little blurry. I couldn't get the best copy. So
The grand touring experience, also in blur.
Exactly. Maybe the band Blur. I'm not sure. The grand touring tradition is a demanding one. Breathtaking performance, precise handling, and tasteful luxury must blend in harmony. The machine must be unobtrusively quiet and refined, yet it must respond with great authority when called upon. The blank is the blank is counted among the few true GT motor cars available today. Its silky smooth 262 horsepower aluminum V12 power plant provides vivid response. With overhead cams, high compression combustion chambers, and direct port fuel injection, the engine is uncommonly quick, deceptively quiet, eminently well behaved. The Blank's four-wheel fully independent suspension system and power rack and pinion steering conquer the most challenging roads with effortless grace. Inside, the Blank driver enjoys refreshing silence. Soft, fragrant hides and polished elm burl veneers provide a touch of old-world elegance that contrasts with the cold austerity common to many high-performance automobiles. From the technical artistry of its muscular V12 engine to its gracious comfort of its well-appointed interior, the Blank is a stirring example of the classic grand touring machine. We cordially invite you to test its mettle. For the dearest nearest you, call toll-free 1-800-447-4700. You better believe we're going to call that phone number shortly. Blank Cars, Inc., Leona, New Jersey. Okay. Enjoy tomorrow. Buckle up today.
This is definitely outside our wheelhouse, my friend.
It is. But the type copy is exactly this car. The verbiage, the tenor is very, very, very this car.
Yeah, I'm like at a loss here, man. I'm at a loss. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. So we have a V12 powered vehicle.
Aluminum V12, fuel injected.
Was the horsepower
overhead
again?
cam? 262 horsepower.
This is interesting. Burled, I heard some burled wood. A
touch of old world elegance.
This feels
soft, fragrant hides and polished elm burl veneers.
And it's the grand touring tradition. So it sounds like it's going to be a car with heritage. The ad read very British to me. With the wording in there. It sounds like an 80s ad, if I'm going to be frankly honest. Earlier 80s, but this is a tough one. V12. Didn't mention which wheels were driven, but I'm going to almost take a stab at it. It's got to be rear.
The old front wheel drive V12.
If someone would have made it, it would have been Chrysler, right? So we're talking about it's no door count. I don't think I heard sedan or coupe.
No door count. Just
that
the grand touring tradition.
Grand touring traditionally would be a two-door car.
Blank is counted among the few true GT motor cars available today.
It's got it. I mean, we talked about it in our GT versus sports car episode, right? Like a true GT car is a two-door, bigger car.
I tend to share that opinion.
Yeah. Which really not not a big thing today. Oh boy. God, it sounds like quintessential. And then, you got Polo. I feel like this is English. I feel like this is English as hell. Um, is is it God though? Is it something more Aston Martin or is it a Jag, baby? That's where I'm tripped. I mean, admittedly, this is definitely my weak area.
Sure.
But God dang it! Of course, Mercedes and BMW had offerings, but it doesn't read like either of their ads. But they did have V12 offerings.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
It's not. Well, I mean, depending on your opinion of the car, perhaps it is shit.
It might take me. I don't think these things are expensive anymore. Unless they are. I don't know if I'm going to get the model exactly right, but I'm going to take a stab here. I'm going to
Sure.
say this car is in British Racing Green in my mind.
Okay.
And we are talking about a Jaguar Jag. I want to say it's got to be an XJ12, right? I believe their naming convention was that based on the cylinder count. And it's going to be from 1983. Final answer.
You are painfully close. So close, I'm effectively kind of basically going to give it to you.
Yeah, am I right there?
X gonna give it to you. It is a Jaguar.
Is it an XK12?
No, XJS.
Okay, that part was good. Okay, got it. Didn't they
But it's
name
effectively they had the X
6 and the 8 were named XJ and XJ 6 and 8, right?
So technically the XJ. Technically you're wrong, but because you were, I knew what you were trying to say because the two doors were the XJS.
Got it.
The sedans, you had the XJ6, which was a 6-cylinder.
Right. That's what they did to
or the XJ12, which was the 12-cylinder sedan. But the coupe, which is what you were telling me it was because you were ixnaying the sedan Bray.
Because Grand Tourer is 2-door. Yeah.
Yes. So this is it doesn't list the year, but it's about 1984, 85. It could be 83, but I think it's like 84, 85.
It read like mid 80s.
Yes. Grand touring tradition, vivid response, effortless grace, refined luxury, Jaguar XJS.
God dang it.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah, it's
probably my weakest area would be.
I figured it was, but it was so like egregiously Jaguar.
Did
like the
not
type copy.
Yeah. The wording, like as soon as
that's fucking
reading.
British.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it is. Like that's why I almost wanted to read it in a really awful Cockney. So I just sent you the ad.
Is it in color? Let me pop
it. It is in color. It is in full Technicolor. While you're writing the Technicolor Rainbow and looking at the link I just sent you to review it, I'm pulling out my phone so we can put it on speaker and we can call the phone number here on the ad, which is becoming a bit of a painful tradition.
I think these things have aged pretty good.
They have. They're I've been in them. I've driven like the end run cars. I've never driven one of this era, and I've only driven the 6-cylinder ones. I've never driven the 12s. For all reports are that they're absolute dog shit to drive.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I think they're kind of terrible looking, but I think simple mods, like one lowered on like 16-inch gold BBSs, they look killer.
Yeah, that makes
sense. They don't take a lot to kind of.
These are pretty damn cheap too, correct?
They are. Yeah, you can get like the world's nicest one is like 10.
That's why I was saying that. Unless it was the Aston Martin 12, and I'm like, man, it's a little not cheaper.
Correct. Okay, let's see what happens if we call this toll free 1-800-447-4700. Let's see. Here we go. Speak.
Definitely not porn.
I don't know. We'll see. We've been on a porn streak lately.
In general.
Yeah.
Welcome to America's hottest talk line. Guys, hot ladies are waiting to talk to you.
How-
Press 1 now.
How
they-
is this?
To talk to
Are
interesting
the-
and exciting guys.
Are the sex
please
line
press
people
2.
buying up all the old
Free
car
now.
numbers?
They must be.
Guys, press 1 now.
Should I
It's the
press one?
Ladies, press 2
I don't think
now.
Yeah, ladies. And for evidence, like I'm calling the
number.
real number.
I
I'm
wonder
not making up.
I wonder if one of those porn like conglomerates purchased because
big porn.
Because who's calling the hub, if you will, the porn
Yeah,
hub. But who's calling these numbers is older men. What are older men reading? Magazines with old car ads.
They're just sitting there. I'm so horny. I'm gonna call this Jaguar number. Oh, thank God it's porn.
Like I don't.
Someone pitched
what's
this
the
at a
game
meeting,
here? What's
and
the
the
end
Jag
game here?
executives or the porn executives are like, absolutely, we want that guy.
To be fair, a
us up.
porn executive is a Jag enthusiast and an
100%.
expert.
Oh,
yes.
dude, every time.
What are the-
and that was
what
the
are the-
same
I-
voice. That was the same.
I think
voice.
it was the same.
Yep.
Here's the thing: if we continue to do this, if we get the number next time again, we're dialing like 1 for dude or 2 for lady. We're gonna go further down the rabbit hole. If we get
Wait, what if it's ladies named after cars? Like I want to talk to Porsche.
Is
and she's
Mercedes there?
"Hi."
Yeah.
Mercedes, of course. Lexus, it's probably there. Maybe that's the connection.
Is my girl Kia in tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
Town and Country. Can I get Town and Country on the line?
I'm about to Fargvignugan. But like I don't know. This is an unsettling trend that we've discovered.
Yeah.
I wonder though. I almost wonder if, because I've yet to push either 1 or 2. I have yet to actually make a selection when we find the porn bot. I almost wonder if it's actually like some sort of like scam phone harvesting system. So like if I push 1 or 2, then it knows like the inbound call is like an actual human and not like a dial bot. And then it like harvests my phone number and like sends it out to like, oh, it's going to be some boomer that's looking for porn in old like car and driver magazines from 1984. Blow this guy up and see if you can get his social security number. Like I need to get a burner for this.
Yeah, we need to find out what's going on here, because this is a trend we can't stand for. There are still folks going through these magazines. Maybe they want to find out about their local Jag retailer. Had some more information. What was the other one we called? Just wanted more information about the specific car ads we read. And they're getting ambushed.
I think
they're
it was
getting
the
ambushed by
Oldsmobile.
big
They're all
porn.
old people cars. These are all old people cars, because I remember was it the Olds 98 that we called, and it was also porn.
It was porn.
That's the third one we've done now. It's been porn.
Big porn.
Oh God, big jag off energy.
Well, you know what old people like to do? PCP. I have no idea if that's true.
They do. Boy, if we call one of these and somebody answers and they're like, "Hey man, I can get you some PCP," we'll have to have them as a formal guest on the pod if that answers. By the way, if you know like a porn number executive out there that wants to be on the pod, tell them. We would love to have them on, and they can explain all of this nonsense.
Oh God, dude, let's double up on seeking sponsorship with this interview, because that would be the best intro for us.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, looking for hot talk, and it's just it's the porn bot lady. I've still been a terrible
Project Car Progress. What are you doing, man? What have you been on?
Nothing, and it's genuinely bad. It's actually not okay. I laid
out a path of redemption for you. You got to carve that 1 or 2 hours.
I know.
Once in a while, you got to do it.
I know. I shall be redeemed. It's just not today.
You'll get.
I have nothing to bring to the table, and it borderline sickens me. It actually is quite upsetting.
The overwhelming stress of your car hoard bearing down on your soul.
No,
it's eventually going to motivate
genuine.
You. Yeah,
it's not okay, and it's not proper, and especially since I'm not buying anything.
Yeah, which is good.
But I know of an interesting car that's going to be coming to market for an interesting, potentially low amount of money, on an auction site near you. That if I gave you 20 attempts to guess the manufacturer of this automobile, you would not get it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it something?
And I don't know. I don't know if I'll end.
Is it something we talk about?
No.
This is affordable.
That's all. I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay.
It would be. Yeah. It should be. It should be.
Like, what's affordable? Are you talking like affordable
deeply
compared
under
to like
10.
a modern new car price, or are you
No,
talking
deeply under
affordable?
$10,000, and it would be incredibly impractical. Not incredibly. There's more impractical.
It's gonna
things,
be
like
it's
like
for
a
you.
Morgan
It's gonna be
three-wheeler, but
it would be like a K car, right?
it was sold new in the United States of America.
Oh, okay. Mm. God, I don't know. I'm stumped. I am stumped.
Very low production.
Yeah. Oh God, is it? No, that wouldn't be under $10,000.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Here's the thing, though. By the time this episode sees the light of day, because we were recording this one a little bit in advance, you will probably know because it will have transpired, and I will either have it and it will be really inexpensive, and we'll all be giggling at what a terrible life choice I've made. Or it'll go for more money than I anticipate, and then that's fine. But I don't know if I can give you more hints.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds impractical.
Let's say it's a 2-seater.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's a
So
two-seater.
I'm already there. It's like something very small size. I don't know, man. This is tough. This is tough
Yeah.
for you. Small 2-door sold in the U.S.
Yes.
It's definitely not a crawler. I don't know why I went there. I know they're not $10,000. This is tough. Not like one of those X90s.
No, I'm trying to look up total production. We didn't get all of them, but it looks
it's not
like
it's not a domestic manufacturer though.
it is not a domestic manufacturer.
No. This is tough. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna.
Okay. All right. We'll just keep it a mystery. That's okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
If I dwelled on it, I could get to it.
I'll let you sleep on it.
For my project car progress, we're back on
Yeah.
the NX 2000. Speaking of an obscure car,
Right.
sold here in very small numbers. Wheel restoration time, my friend. I honestly think when restoring a car cosmetically, wheel resto is like one of the biggest like bang for your bucks things you can do to a car. With factory wheels, these factory 14s, baby, are roughed up, coated in that burnt on brake dust look that we all love. Curbing, general fading, they look like shit. They basically look like shit. You could always go out and buy a newer refurbished set. Just kidding. They don't fucking exist. So basically, I've already wrapped them in sticky 200 treadwear Falcon tires, as I do to everything I own. I sanded the wheels all the way down because you have to get all of it. The mistake people make is like incomplete sanding or just trying to do touch-up spots, and then you get the clear coat paint fading in certain spots. So whatever, you got to do the whole thing. I then Dremel the curbing because it had some pretty gnarly curbing, and primer, fresh paint, new wheels, my friend. I think that's one of the biggest things you can do to make an older car look good, especially factory wheels from this period. Aftermarket wheels aren't the solution for the way I do things. So we're looking good, man. We got some good wheels on the NX.
Heck yeah. No, that does go a long way. And what also is interesting is just cleaning up headlights and taillights. Like if they're faded out or they're cracked or they're just really dirty, like you clean up that and good tires, clean wheels. That's half the battle right there.
Yeah, goes so far.
That's it.
Cool.
You know what? I've come so far. And wait, no, how's it go?
Are you going to sing Linkin Park?
I'm trying to. My brain broke in the middle of it.
We are so tired.
Tried so hard and come so far. But in the end, well, yeah. Well, I mean,
I came so hard.
Hey, you know what? If that's how you participate during the podcast, dear listener,
please do.
If you finish violently as we finish violently the end of this podcast episode here, then we welcome that, and we expect to have you back here as a loyal listener next week. So thank you for that. We are another Pointless Automotive podcast. If you want to trip over our great expanse of not posting on our Instagram, please do so. Check it out. Send us messages there. We do get messages from time to time, and we try to respond to them. So please say hello or threaten us with violence. Do all the ratings on all the things and hang out with us here. We look forward to seeing you next week. I'm the Photographer's Garage on all of the things. Chadwick is on things. Where are those things and what are they and who are you?
I'm Auto Obsessive Garage, also on the things. And most importantly, thanks for taking your time to hang out with us, to listen to us babble on about modern cars this time, which is a little bit outside of our wheelhouse. So
yeah, thanks for dialing porno numbers with us. It's been quite fun.
Of course, it's the Jag ad. Of course. That was a good one. But as always, guys, we'll catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we appreciate you guys for stopping by. Seriously, we love you. Take care. We'll catch you on the next one.
Toodaloo.
Peace.
Bye.